All right, guys, today we're checking out the HillMiles Mile Pop1. All right, on first glance, it's another mini electric dirt bike on the channel. 48 volts, 14-inch front, 12-inch rear. Very similar to a lot of the bikes that we've reviewed on the channel so far. There is a standout feature on this particular bike, and it's the integrated Bluetooth speaker. Anyway, let's walk through all the features. So first thing you'll notice is this 14-inch tire, 60-114 knobby tire. It feels pretty soft, so this will probably wear down pretty quickly, but if you're just riding it off-road, it should be fine. We got the Moto style hydraulic disc brakes, thick rotor. We do have a front suspension fork, which doesn't seem to have any adjustments. Fork guard, front fender, integrated headlight. I'll show you guys how bright this gets. A lot of black and orange on the bike, so you do have these orange panels over here, body panels, extends all the way to the rear fender, chain guard over here, as well as some graphics throughout the bike. Now for power, we have a 48 volt, 25 amp hour battery. The battery is housed inside of this compartment, and it doesn't seem to be any kind of quick release. Getting to the battery is going to be a challenge, especially if you intend to take the battery out and bring it indoors or something like that. You definitely want some dedicated storage, a shed or a garage, something with some, climate control, because you don't want to have this battery sitting out in the cold too long. We got the pegs over here, pretty small, doesn't seem very robust, and I'm not quite sure if there's a way to upgrade these particular pegs, but wished it was maybe a little bit wider. Here's the integrated Bluetooth speaker. I'll show you guys in a minute how this thing works. It is a direct drive system. It's a chain drive. And here's a look at the sprocket in the rear. Here's a look at the 12-inch rear tire, 70-112. I also like how the rims are orange. Got a mud guard over here. Moto style saddle seat. I definitely wish this was a little bit grippier, a little bit stickier. Moto style disc brakes in the rear. You also have a rear suspension shock. Never heard of this brand before. Easy enough to upgrade if you wanted to change the shock. Here's a look at the 3,000 watt peak mid-drive motor, charging port for the battery. You also have a button to change the throttle sounds. So that's what the Bluetooth speaker is for. You could actually change the engine sounds, or you could turn it off completely. We also have some riser bars. Looks like it's 22 millimeter. Got the rubber grip. Let's turn the bike on. So you hold down the power button, and it turns on the engine sounds. So we're going to actually disable that by pressing the button. Okay, over here is the headlight switch and the horn. So this is what the headlight looks like. Pretty bright. It's also integrated into this number plate. Got the horn. A bit of a delay. Looks like it's connected to the Bluetooth speaker itself. So yeah, a little bit of a delay. Here's the power button and then the ride mode switch up and down. Center mounted color LCD display. And there is 3 different power modes. 1, 2, 3. And here's a look at the full twist throttle. Okay, so now let's talk about the engine sounds. So I did disable it. Let me enable it by pressing the button once. Okay, so I don't know what sound this is on right now, but we can twist the throttle, make sure that your power mode is at 0. Twist the throttle. So that is, kind of a high-pitched sounds, probably the closest to a dirt bike as other sounds. That's pretty good and pretty responsive, all things considered. It's pretty calibrated to the throttle twist. It's really interesting. All right, so that's 1, and then if we hold down the button. All right, so that's a different sound. Sounds like a truck. Switch it again. That also sounds like a truck. Kind of weird that you have car sounds coming out of this bike, but whatever. Switch it again. That sounds like a car with engine throttle. Switch it again. Car sound. Switch it again. Sounds like a pickup truck. Sounds like Sully's pickup truck. Very interesting. Switch it again. And that's back to our original sound. So we'll keep it there. Since it's an integrated Bluetooth speaker, you can actually connect it to your phone. So I'm going to connect the Bluetooth on my phone to the speaker itself, and there you go. Mile Pop1 is the device. Choose it. So if we want to play a song on the phone, it'll play through the Bluetooth. We will disconnect that. So we're going to forget device. And then the motor sound just comes right back as soon as you disconnect it. And the total weight of this bike is 101.4 pounds. So now that we've gone over all the features of the HillMiles Mile Pop1, let's take it out for its first ride. In 3, 2, 1. All right. 25, 26, 27. About 30 or 29 on the Dragy, 31 on the display. Going on a slight downhill now. Holding off 30. All right, it seems like it's leveling it out. Seems like it's leveling out at 30. Now we're gonna go downhill. So it should speed up a little bit, but probably not by much. 31. About 31. 32. 31, 32. Not too bad. All right, guys, let's spin around here. In 3, 2, 1. Going downhill, then we're gonna go uphill slightly. 30. Leveling out at about 26 going uphill, 27, about 27 going uphill. Now we're leveling out a little bit. Yeah, I mean, this is probably the most you're gonna get from this bike at 48 volts. There might be a way to unlock a little more RPM, but expect about 26 to 30 miles per hour, depending on the terrain that you're riding in. But should be fine for just putting around the city. No big deal. All right, guys, first ride with the HillMiles Mile Pop1. What a name. Orange and black colorway. Love it. Yes, another mini electric dirt bike that we're reviewing on the channel. These things just keep coming. That's the trend that we predicted. It's happening. The very unique feature, obviously, for this bike is the built-in Bluetooth speaker and the sound effects, right? It may be a novelty for some. Some people may get a kick out of it. Some people might find it useful because without the sound effects, it's actually a really quiet motor. Depending on where you like to ride, that may be a preference for you. So we'll see. Let's turn the bike on. And it gives you that engine sound, right? So there's a couple of different sounds. Some of the sounds sound like cars. Some of them sound like motorcycles, maybe. This is the highest pitched one, and something that I think resembles a motorcycle. Who knows? This is what I look like on the bike. My inseam is about 30 inches, so probably aimed at, you know, kids, teens. So we'll get right into it. We'll start with power level 1. That sound is wild. Okay, so this is power level 1, and pretty responsive. You know, it's not so powerful that it's hard to ride, but that sound is crazy. It makes you feel like you're going way faster than you are, but it's pretty funny. We'll bump it up to power level 2. Some brake. It's all right. Power level 3. Yeah, way more torque on the low end. It's surprisingly very responsive for what it is, you know? Yeah, like the brakes. Yeah, so the knobby tires, they're not really grippy on the street, so, you know, I'm squeezing the brakes, it's knocking the wheel up, but you're still gonna kind of slide with these tires. The sound is just so funny. Yeah, you can definitely wheelie this if you're a stunt rider. This is level 1, and it's really not giving you anything. You really have to pop it up like... That's 1. This is 2. And then 3, obviously, very easy to pop up on standstill. Yeah, I mean, if Sully was on this thing, he'd probably do knee knocks, he'd do stand-ups. The only thing is the saddle seat is a little bit slippery. I wish the saddle seat kind of went a little bit further above the wheel and it'd probably feel a little bit better. But right now it's like I'm just kind of like slipping off the back here. And the pegs are alright, but they're kind of small, they're kind of flimsy. There's probably a way to upgrade these things so they're a little bit wider.
So I'm gonna go ahead and turn it on. Ooh. There's just something about that. I don't know. It's kind of nice. So I'm on 2 right now. That is wild. Alright, so yeah. I'm gonna put my visor down because it's kind of windy today. But it's actually crazy to ride an e-bike and to hear, like, when you twist the throttle to actually have that response. Like, that is kind of crazy. I love that. And it's so steady. Rick played a couple of different sounds on this bike, and some of them honestly just sounded like cars to me. It sounded like, you know, you're turning on your lifted truck and you're going for a ride on the highway, which, you know, that's fine. But I think this particular sound sounds the most like a motorcycle. Like, it's kind of giving... I'm not good with motorcycle sounds. I couldn't tell you what a Ducati sounds like versus, you know, a Triumph or whatever, but this sounds like a kind of a 2-stroke, I'm gonna say. Like, it's giving dirt bike vibes. That's kind of crazy. That is so fun. I'm like distracted from actually, you know, talking about the bike ride because I have this sound going. So right now that was just class 2. I'm gonna pop it up. I'm not sure how many classes this has actually. Just go up to 3. I keep saying classes. Level 3, speed level 3. So we're on 3 right now, and this is super responsive. It feels really smooth. The seat's a little bit narrow. It's a little bit, you know, it's not going to be the most comfortable seat, but it's not meant to be comfortable. You know, it's meant to be, you know, fun for, you know, short rides and short zips. Super, super flicky. I mean, look at this. Oh, yeah. I love that. That is nuts. That is crazy. I've never had that kind of response on an e-bike before, just in terms of the sonic experience. So I actually really like that. I really like that. From my perspective, you know, somebody who rides motorcycles and e-bikes, that's a fun bike. I don't think this is gimmicky. I don't think that sound is gimmicky personally. I love it. I would actually love to see more customizability with that. Like, you know, being able to upload your own sounds and kind of really customize the way the sound. You don't have to have it on all the time. If you like the quiet and the peace and the zen of just riding a quiet e-bike, you can turn it off. Nice job, HillMiles.
So let's recap the specs. The HillMiles Mile Pop1 has a 48-volt, 25 amp-hour battery paired with a 3,000-watt peak mid-drive motor and a chain drive setup. It tops out around 30 miles per hour and includes 3 power modes, a full twist throttle, and a center-mounted 3.5-inch LCD display. Up front, you get a headlight, and the bike adds a unique touch with an integrated Bluetooth speaker that lets you switch between 6 different engine sound effects. There's also moto-style hydraulic brakes, a standard dirt bike saddle, and a front and rear fender. For comfort, the Pop1 has a front suspension fork and rear shock supported by a 14-inch front wheel and 12-inch rear wheel wrapped in off-road tires. At just over 101 pounds, it stays fairly light for a mini electric dirt bike. Overall, it's designed for light off-road rides.
Really easy to maneuver. Suspension feels good. I feel like there might be some regen, some brake regen when I let go of the throttle. Might be mistaken, but maybe there's a way to disable that. But yeah, just doing this feels really good. Really, really easy to control. So much fun. The sound effects are crazy. All right, let's see if we can climb this hill up here. Take it off-road. Here we go. Can it make it up the hill? Woo! And yeah, no problem. And going down the hill. A little off-road. I mean, the grass. The rear suspension, I mean, it's doing its thing. It's not that. I mean, I think it could be a little bit softer. I think the rear shock could be a little bit better. You could easily upgrade that if you wanted to. Woo! Oh man. Woo! I mean, it can. It's meant for off-road, so it can definitely do it. Oh yeah. Okay, first impressions with the HillMiles Mile Pop1. I really like it. I mean, I really enjoy all of these mini electric dirt bikes, to be honest. And this one shares a lot of the same characteristics as the others that we've reviewed. 48 volts, about 20 to 25 amp hour, and kind of similar geometry, right? Similar stance, wheel size, that kind of thing. The standout feature, obviously, with this bike is the sound effects and the built-in Bluetooth speaker. You know, on paper, that sounds really cheesy. It sounds like a novelty. I remember trying to install my own sound effect engine sound thing, and it was very cheesy. I will say that, you know, based on the tune and the way that the sound is calibrated, it does kind of give you that extra tangible response, I guess, when you're throttling. It is super silent without the sound effects. So if you are riding this around pedestrians or that kind of thing, for safety, they can hear you coming. Moto brakes are great. You know, the power, we only hit about 30 miles per hour top speed. It's only 48 volts, but I'm pretty sure you can tune this thing. You get into the controller. I'm not quite sure if it's a far driver, but you could probably swap the motor. You could probably upgrade the battery, like a lot of these bikes, right? You can get in there if you really wanted to. HillMiles Mile Pop1, solid recommend.
So here's what we like. The Mile Pop1 has enough low-end power to pop into a wheelie. It's a fun ride thanks to its compact size and nimble handling. And the integrated Bluetooth speaker with switchable sound effects is a quirky touch that some riders will like. But here's some things to consider. The 48-volt battery isn't a quick-release design, which makes charging a little less convenient. The engine sound effects might feel more like a novelty over time. And if you're on the taller side, the smaller frame may feel a bit cramped. So, what do you think of the HillMiles Mile Pop1 mini electric dirt bike? Let us know in the comments below, and we'll see you guys in the next video.